Hey everybody, it is that time of year again. Yamaha just announced their lineup for 2026. There's one thing in there that I'm not real happy about. Something else in there that I'm really happy about. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, this is Captain Frank with the Ship's Log, and Yamaha just announced what they're doing for 2026. Now, to be honest, not a whole lot of huge changes with the existing lineup. You know, there's some new colors out there and so on and so forth. There's some minor changes with the lineup that we've actually already had for the past couple of years or so. But there's one big change that I want to talk about. But there's also one thing, and I'll talk about this first. There's one thing that I'm not so happy about, and that is that they still haven't supercharged the 1.9 engine. I don't know why. We all know that Yamaha has not been one of the manufacturers that's in the horsepower race. They're not always out there touting numbers and so on and so forth. And typically, even when they do mention a number, it's actually lower than what the actual horsepower is. But they're not in that horsepower race with Sea-Doo and Kawasaki and so on and so forth. They don't care about that nearly as much. Maybe that's why they haven't done it. But I can't help but think, if you supercharge that 1.9, wow, what would they get out of it? Guess we won't know this year. I was pretty sure that after the first year of having just the 1.9 in the naturally aspirated model, that, oh yeah, second year they're going to come out with a supercharger and man, this thing is going to put out some serious power. Didn't do it. Well, the next year I'm like, okay, if they didn't do it last year, I know they're going to do it this year. Well, didn't do it. So I don't know. I don't know what their plan is. I don't know if that's what they're eventually going to do. I know when the engine first came out, all the experts were saying that, wow, we can tell by the design of this engine, it's already set up to have a supercharger put on it. So that's got to be the way that they're eventually going. They haven't done it yet. So maybe next year. I don't know. I was kind of looking forward to seeing it. The 1.8 is obviously a really good engine. That's what I've got in my ski. I've got the supercharged 1.8 SVHO. I love it. It's great. I am not unhappy with it at all. I'm not one of those guys that is waiting for the 1.9 to be supercharged so I can run out and buy it. But I still find it exciting that they could do that. And I'd be very excited to see what kind of numbers it would give us if and when they do. But little disappointing. They haven't done it yet. Who knows? Maybe we will get it next year. We shall see. But the one thing that I am really excited about is they've come out with something completely new, completely out of the box. I don't know if you guys have heard yet, but they have actually announced the Crosswave. Okay, now, a while back, I want to say maybe a year and a half ago or so, I did a comparison of Yamaha and Sea-Doo. I'm a Yamaha guy, always been a Yamaha guy, and it's just my opinion that Yamahas are a bit more reliable than Sea-Doos are, which is why that's what I go with. But one of the things that I have always thought that Sea-Doo has been better at is ingenuity, is coming up with the new ideas, coming up with something that you haven't seen before, nobody's done before, etc. They've kind of always led in that particular category. But Yamaha surprised some people because, man, they came out the box with something new. And it literally is something that nobody's seen before, nobody's done before. So I don't know if y'all have taken a look at this yet, but let's take a look what we have here. Okay, so this is Yamaha's website, and they just put this up yesterday. But this is the new Crosswave, and gosh, how do you describe it? I guess you can consider it a crossover vessel, maybe, because that really is kind of what it's like. It is longer, and right now, or prior to this, the largest ski that Yamaha made is what I have. It's the Yamaha FX SVA, well, Yamaha FX, whether it's an FX SVHO, FXHO, whether it's the regular FX, whether it's the Cruiser, doesn't matter. That's the largest one that they've had in the past. This is actually even larger. It looks like an extremely stable platform, but it's not meant for the speed enthusiast. It's not meant for somebody who wants the most agile ski to jump waves and do all that kind of stuff. It's meant for somebody who wants to get out there with their friends, with their family, and do some serious riding, do some exploring, do some cruising, do some fishing. I think it really looks good from the side here, but you can also take a look. I mean, in the front, you can see by looking at the front view there, it's a lot wider. It's wide enough to where you literally can walk around. And I guess for you fishing folks, that would be very important to be able to walk around and you catch a fish or you get a fish on the hook. You want to be able to walk around and fight the fish, so to speak. So you do have that option right there. So a lot more space. You can tell from right here, there's some kind of storage compartments here on the side. And I guess maybe you can use that as to store your fish that you caught, store gear, or whatever you might want to do. It has a seat that's big enough for 4 people. There's a cooler built in, or that comes with it, that you can put on the back, which is actually kind of nice. And it is, by the way, it is powered with the 1.9 liter engine. So that's obviously the largest displacement engine in the industry, and you're getting 200 horsepower with that, and so which is more than adequate for a machine this size. Again, you're not breaking speed records, you're not drag racing people out on the water with this thing. It's not designed for that. But man, do you have some space, and can you really go places with this? To be honest, it's got me thinking. I'm like, man, I don't need another ski, but I kind of like the way this is looking. I see that, of course, it has cleats on the front, it's got cleats on the side as well, so you can tie up to a dock or whatever. So scrolling down, I love this. This is look at the display that you have, dual 7-inch display. So you've got on the left side there, the same display that we currently have on our FX machines, where you can get all your data, your speed, your fuel, your blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff, your GPS information. But then over on the right, you've got a full-fledged display for fish finder, and I guess it comes with a Simrad fish finder and GPS. So you can have all of that information right up there at the same time, which is really, really, really cool. As I mentioned, it does come with the 1.9 engine, which is a really, really good engine. That's the one that they haven't supercharged yet, but even in its naturally aspirated mode, it is a really nice engine. But you look at this deck here, look at how much space you have. And I guess they have a system called a T-Track system, which allows you to customize your setup. I believe that's what's like right behind the seat, kind of running fore and aft there. But you look like you have 2 storage compartments on either side for putting your gear and everything. Also, look at the footwells. Look how deep they are. Look how deep they are, and look how wide they are. So you got plenty of space in there. This is kind of cool. A dedicated locker for your anchor up front. So again, if you're going to be doing this kind of riding and stuff, you probably do need an anchor. But having a dedicated place to put it with the line, that's really cool. A lot of these features that you see here are something that you might see on a boat, but really, really nice feature there. Another side view right here, you got seating for 4 I don't know what the total weight capacity is. It might say that in here somewhere. But that would be interesting to find out there, to see what the total weight capacity is. So yeah, there's your anchor locker right there. Oh, I'm sorry, this is the rear of the ski. But it has a clean out. So right there, it shows you the clean out. So if you do get debris caught up in your intake, you can go right there and pull that debris out without having to get in the water. I know that's something that Yamaha has had on their jet boats for a while, and that works pretty well. So you're skiing somewhere, you get grass up in there or something like that, you can open the cleanup or the clean out and clean it out there, and you can stay in the water, which is actually kind of nice, particularly if the water's cold or so on and so forth. So nice looking machine. I mean, when you look at this one right here, this guy seems to have it pretty well outfitted. You got rod holders that you can put on there. Apparently part of the seat can be taken out, I guess. It looks like that's the case, and he's got a cooler sitting there. So you don't need to have 4 people on the ski with you. You're just going out by yourself. Take out part of that seat, put a cooler there, and still have space for all your rod holders and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if that is, I guess it's a bait well. That's what it looks like, which is kind of cool. The other thing that I've heard about this, and you can see it on this one, it's got a trolling motor on the front. So that's kind of cool. Again, if you're fishing, if you're not fishing, you don't care about that. But having that trolling motor on the front is kind of cool stuff there. So that's really, really neat. So this is all on the Yamaha website. There's a nice view from the top, which kind of gives you an idea. Of course, and that's got another view where you got multiple people and so on and so forth. So, I think it's a nice looking machine. This is something I think that is probably going to do pretty well. Let's take a look at some other information I found on it. This is over on Facebook. This is on the DHY Motorsports Facebook page. I'm sure you can probably find these on Yamaha's site too, but this is a really good look at the display I was talking about, having all of your information about speed and fuel and trim and your radio, if you're using Bluetooth, so on and so forth, all that's over there. But then you also have your, in this case, it looks like he's got the GPS up there. Really, really cool. I'm liking the way that's looking there. There's what the inside of the anchor locker looks like. So it looks like it's got a good amount of space in there for an anchor and for your anchor line, your rode. Cleat right there on the front. I've seen some pictures where these are apparently these are removable, or maybe you can push them up or something, because I've seen some pictures where these aren't down like that. So I don't know if that's something that you can, depending on whether you want them, you can move them up or not. The other thing I noticed is it appears he's using some kind of a wash down, which is connected to the back of the ski. So I don't know if it has a built-in pump, or maybe you can start the ski up and it uses the equivalent of the pisser, as we call it, on the back to where you can rinse it off. I'm not really sure, but that's interesting right there. And see, they got 2 people on this thing, and it's obviously pretty comfortable. It looks like. So obviously with the ski being bigger, the Crosswave being bigger than other skis, it's not going to take the same trailer. So my guess is that you're going to have to buy a bigger trailer. I guess they've got a trailer designed for the Crosswave. I think I said Crosswave earlier, but Crosswave. So a regular jet ski trailer probably won't work, but that's fine. I'm sure the dealers are going to have those. But a good looking machine. And going over to Yamaha's their page on Facebook, of course, they've got information on that as well. 40th anniversary, so I guess this is coming out for the 40th anniversary. It says it's nearly 13 feet. So it's over a foot longer than what the FX is. We of course know it's got the dual displays on the front. You got a customizable deck, which is kind of cool. A lot of the technology that's in the other Yamaha skis are in this. You've got your ride system, for example. This is the part that I think is really cool. A Group 24 deep cycle marine battery. So that's not the same size battery that you have on a regular ski. It's a larger battery. We're approaching car size battery. Actually, this is the same size battery that you would get in some cars. So it obviously has a lot more energy than a regular PWC battery does. So that's why it can support a trolling motor. It also can support lighting systems. Now, I don't think it comes with lights, but I think that is an indicator that you can add lights to it later. Who knows? Maybe even Yamaha will have a lighting package that you can get for it. If they're designing it that way, I can't see that they wouldn't do that. But it supports lighting, and it says, and other high draw electronics. So it's literally laid out like a small boat to support whatever you might need to do your cruising and your fishing. So, which is kind of cool. We mentioned, of course, the way to clear the jet pump out. That's we mentioned that earlier. Custom trailer and the cooler becomes they're standard. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. It says it's going to be available spring of 2026. So you can't walk in there and get one right now. But spring of 2026, that's when you will be able to get one. Which, I don't know. Like I said, it's kind of got me thinking. The other thing that I saw, I don't remember where I saw it, but it also said that it has the largest fuel tank of any other PWC. Now, I know the FXs currently are 18.5 gallons. I know Kawasaki's, I think their 310, I think is 21, I think it is. So if that's the case, that would indicate that the fuel tank in this is even larger. So I don't know, 23, 25, I guess we'll see. But again, if you're trying to go offshore to go fishing, or you're trying to do some serious cruising, like going to the Bahamas or something like that, then that extra fuel capacity is obviously going to be something that you would use. So what are your thoughts? Personally, I like it. I keep looking at it and I'm say, gosh, man, maybe we should get one of those. I don't need another ski. Although I got the one I have, I love. But this thing is, it's pretty cool. So, but I guess I have until spring to decide whether I will jump into this or not. It's obviously not meant for speed. It's not slow by any stretch of the imagination. My guess is with the 1.9, I don't know, I'm going to guess and say you can probably hit maybe 60. You're definitely not going to hit 67, 68. So maybe you'll hit 58, 60. So it's not going to win any races, but it's not going to be slow either. So what are your thoughts? You think is it cool? You wouldn't get it? You would get it? Too little, too late? I'm curious to see what people think. I've seen a lot of positive things out there about it. I have seen some negative things. Some people say, well, why not just buy a small boat? Pluses and minuses in my book, but I really want to hear what y'all think about that. Take a look at it. Look online, see what else you can find. Maybe you can find out some things that I haven't found and didn't talk about here, because I really would like to know more stuff about it as well. And I'm sure everybody else would like to know more stuff about it. But that's what we got. So we'll see how many people go out and buy it. Until next time, happy riding.